In this application, we're going to be writing a small server and writing some information to storage in memory. The application is going to be a small server using the Express package. Now, I have already previously indicated this dependency within my configuration file, the package.json. And as you can see there, that is the folder that we're going to be working on, 01_guestbook. I've opened up within Visual Studio Terminal to the same path and the same location. So if I list my files, you will see the same there. I also have on the right-hand side a browser that we will use to access the routes that we will create within Express. And the very first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and install the dependencies by entering npm install. And now we're ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and open up the index file. And as you can see there, we have a amount of functionality that has been pre-written and then a function that we need to write ourselves. If we scroll all the way to the bottom of the page, the only other thing that we have is the listener that is taking web requests. So in this case, let's go ahead and overview the code that has been pre-written. And as you can see here, the very first line makes reference to the Express package. The second one creates an instance. The third one defines a variable upon which we will add information to this little server. Line 5 is a route that will return store. And within line 9 through 17, we're going to write a small route that will take two parameters. As you can see here, a first and a last. They're meant to be a first and a last name, and we will store those to the store variable. So let's go ahead and get started on that. I'm going to go ahead and delete there the comments. I'm going to call first the local variable that I'm going to create. I will use the request object, then params, which will give me access to the parameters that were sent to the server. Then I am going to access first, and I'm going to do the same thing for last. I'm going to enter request.params.last. And that'll give us two parameters that we will have picked up when the information is sent. Then I'm going to create an object, and this object will hold those two parameters. And I'm going to call, let me put in the curly braces. I'm going to call the properties first, and the value will be first that we have picked up from the web post. I'm going to do the same thing for last. So the name of the property will be last. The value will be last, which is the local variable that we have previously defined. And then I'm going to push into the store array that we have created the object that we just defined. And then I'm going to respond using the response object and send simply the object that we have created for verification. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. I'm now going to go ahead and run the code here at the console. Before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and clear. And so I will enter node index.js. And as you can see there, the server is running. I'm now going to go ahead and access that default route. And it was just simply localhost. The server is running at port 3000. And that should return as empty. And as you can see there, we have the simple array definition with no items. So the next thing that I'm going to do is that I'm going to go ahead and send an additional request. And this time I'm going to match this address here. So my path will be add, and then the first name and the last name of the user that I want to add. So I'm going to go ahead and use the path here. I will enter add, and then I will simply enter my name, Abel Sanchez. And I'm going to go ahead and enter that. And as you can see there, that route, the one defined on lines 9 through 15, has responded with the object that we created. I'm going to go ahead and add one more. This time I will add John Williams. and I get that confirmation back. Now, if we hit the default route, which returns the value of the store variable, you'll see there that we get both objects back. And as you can see there, we are creating some information that is being persisted on the server. However, it lives in memory. That means that if we stop the server, as you can see there, we run it again. Next time we reload this page, we will have an empty array. Because the information was in memory, it was not persisted, we simply, by stopping the server, we have cleared the data. So this is a small demonstration of creating some information on the server in memory on a local variable.